Baby, can I ask you a question?
Yes, I love you. I love you a lot.
No, but I want to ask you something very serious.
I'm sorry. I never meant to date any of those girls before you. I was wrong, and I hope you can forgive me.
No, baby, seriously, I need to ask you a serious
You can
question.
have all my money. You can take everything you want. What's mine is yours. What's yours is yours. There's nothing I wouldn't do for
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It is a new day. We thank the good Lord it's a new day. Thank God it is a new day. So good to see you again. Thanks for stopping by. It's me again, WJ. That was really funny. Well, what do we got going on today? A very interesting topic. It's a hot mess. Avoid it. But avoid what? Avoid having a failed marriage. Why are marriages failing today? Why are marriages failing today? It is a hot mess. You got to avoid it at all costs. You got to do whatever you can to avoid it. So as always, we're going to go through a series of videos. And one thing I can tell you before we start, really, you certainly don't want to be doing what this guy's doing. That's not going to give you a successful marriage. A yes man just says yes to everything. That's when I tell women, you got to be careful. When your man says yes to everything, that's when you want to be concerned. But anyway, let's go through some videos as to why we think marriages are failing. Please put your comments in the comment section below. And then we have a last one that's going to rip. But let's go through this. Take a look at this.
I said, so let me ask you a question. She said, what's that? I said, say we're married. She said, yes. We have a terrible fight. It's the fan. Who are the 5 people you're going to call? She says, what do you mean? Who are the 5 friends you call after we have a terrible fight? So she gives me the names. I said, okay. Tell me about their marital status, divorce. How about this one, divorce? How about this one, single? How about this one, married? How about this one, single? I said, you calling these guys? I said, you call these 5 people, guess who they're going to defend? She said, who? I said, you. I said, let me tell you who my 5 are. My dad, Dudley, Bill, and I gave the 5 minutes. I said, if I call these guys, guess who they're defending? You. I said, in order for marriage to work, the 5 people I call when I'm pissed off, they have to defend you. And the 5 people you call, they have to defend who? Me.
Wow.
That's a very good strategy. Words of wisdom, good strategy, good accountability structure. This is why it's so important to talk about these things before you actually get into marriage. These are some of the things. If you're taking notes, obviously you got to go through counseling, but not everything can really be covered in counseling. So these are some of the things, if it's not covered, you want to talk about. Because you got to know. I heard something someday from a very wise man, and I'll throw that out there. It says the most dangerous person, whether it's a man or a woman, the most dangerous person you can be with is someone who doesn't have an accountability hierarchy. In other words, they don't have anybody they fear that can correct them. So if they operating where no one can tell them anything, that's a very dangerous person. You don't want to be around them because we all need correction at some point in our life. We need somebody where if we're going off track, they can reach out to this person or persons that can help bring our heads back to normal, a factory reset of our brains. And that goes for the man and the woman. So if the person you're considering to be married to, if you're not married yet, and they don't have somebody above them who they fear, who can correct them, who can talk to them, I say run. That's a very red flag. Well, let's take a look at this other video as well and see what's been discussed here. Why are marriages failing? Take a look.
Why do you think 50% of marriages fail?
One is because people don't select well. They select based on chemistry and their blueprint of like someone gives me butterflies, as opposed to having the tough conversations about what do we believe a life well lived is? What is our stance on children? What is our stance on money? What is our stance on spirituality? Like, what's our values? And what are we going to do to fight for this relationship when we have a hard time? So people don't have those conversations, and then they are not able to assess if they're actually with the right person for them. And then also people don't have the skills to make a relationship work over the long term. And people get very selfish. So we become fixated on what we're not getting, and we don't think about what we're not giving. We get in our heads, we create a lot of stories about the other person, we build up a lot of resentment. That resentment creates a lot of resistance. That resistance creates a tense physiology, and in that tense physiology, we're not attracted to each other anymore. We lose the motivation to meet each other's needs. And that's all part of the learned helplessness. And then we think, you know, there's no better way to move forward from this than to get a divorce.
Wow. I had to take a deep breath on that one. She mentioned 3 main reasons. First, we're not having the right discussions and conversations. Same thing from the prior video. We are all about optics. How does he look? How does she look? Does he have money? Does she have money? How are my friends going to perceive this person? Do they accept this person for me? Not thinking of yourself. And you've heard me say that before. This is the one time you want to be selfish. I condone selfishness when you're looking for someone to marry. Think of yourself, not your friends, not your family, not your acquaintances, not how you think you look to other people. Do you want this person for yourself? Are you connected? Do you feel happy? Do you feel safe? Are you yourself when you're around this person? That's what you should be looking for. We're not having the right conversations. We don't have the skill set to even handle relationships, let alone marriages. So we have some work to do in finding the right people around us, people that have the right skill sets. Those who are in marriages that have done marriages well, that we know, let's just humble ourselves and ask them questions. And then the person we're trying to get married to, let's talk. Let's have conversations. Ask. No question is a stupid question. Believe you me. Because in marriage, everything is out in the open. At that point, it's too late. You might want to ask the questions before you get in. Ask all the questions. And if somebody's getting pissed off that you're asking questions, maybe that's a red flag. Ask all your questions. We're not having the right conversations. We don't have the skills to do it. And we're just giving up at the end of it. We say, we throw our hands up. That's it. Being very selfish. That's the other side of selfishness I don't condone. When you're with someone, now you got to drop all selfishness and be totally unselfish. You got to be able to adapt to one another. It's a yin yang. Well, I think this last video will help us put it all together. While we see marriages failing, there's got to be some reason as to why, or reasons as to why. Yes, we're not doing it right. Yes, we're selfish. We don't have the skill set. We don't have the right conversations. All of that are absolutely true. And I believe that because I think if we could get those right, it'll save 50% of marriages. 50% of the 50% in a mess right now, in a hot mess right now, will be saved from the hot mess. It's really a hot mess. But you can avoid it, especially if you are not married yet and you're thinking of getting married. And even if you're married, it could still be rectified. I believe one of the reasons why marriages are failing is we don't even understand what marriage is. from the onset. We think it's all about the butterflies and all the flies, but it's bigger than that. It's bigger than us. So I think this last video, we're going to let it rip, will help put it together. And maybe, just maybe, it give us a better understanding as to what we should be looking for and why. Take a look at this.
When God created marriage, it was not an economic strategy. He didn't look at Adam and he said, hey, Adam, you can't make enough money by yourself. Let me get you somebody to help you make money. Can I mess with you? God didn't create marriage because Adam's life needed improving. And Adam, you'll never be able to fulfill your destiny without a good woman, so let me get you a good woman. You know why God created marriage? He looked at Adam and he said, you're alone. And I never intended for you to be alone. And watch this. Wow. God was with Adam. Come on now. For all my super saints. Long as I got King Jesus, no. Well, guess what? God was there and he still said, no. He's lonely and I need companionship. So he has someone, so she has someone to do. And what's happened is culture has relegated dating and relationship to how much money do you bring to the table? How much social influence can you catapult me for? How can you help me reach my goal? And all of that happens in marriage, but that was never the initial purpose or goal of it.
Wow. That was deep. Short, but deep. Hey, one thing we can learn from this is Pastor Stephen, by the way, of Union Church. Pastor Stephen, you can follow him. Wise man, young man caught up in an older man's body. That's how I like to describe him. I don't know how else. Filled with wisdom, a very godly man, very serious about God. I listen to him a lot. If we don't understand what marriage is, we cannot treat marriage the way marriage needs to be treated. It wasn't for economic reasons. It wasn't for optics. It wasn't for the red carpet. It wasn't for red bottoms. It was for companionship. And everybody needs somebody. No one is an island. You cannot operate by yourself. Every help we all need in this life, I believe, is with someone right now. And we are also somebody else's help. We're just trying to navigate how to meet that person who needs what we want and wants what we have. So the best marriages, as you can see, if you've seen good marriages around, it's not about the money. It's not about the optics. It's the people that can enjoy the intangibles together. They can laugh together. They have patience with each other. They love being around each other. They like each other. They enjoy each other's time. Just having their coffee, going to the park, just the somewhat little things of life that don't really cost that much, but he just keeps them happy and joyful and keeps them connected. So maybe that's a sign, a red flag. If somebody always just wants to go to this fine wining and dining, that's all they want to do. They can't even just have a coffee. They can't go to a park. They can't just take a walk. You may want to reconsider. Maybe, just maybe. That may be a red flag and a sign for you. 2, run. You got to be able to enjoy the little things of life, because every day, ask people in marriages for years. They'll tell you every day is not fine wine and dine. Some days you just go to Chick-fil-A. Some days you go to Mickey D's. Some days you go to Walmart together. Some days you take a walk in the park. Some days you just have a buffet somewhere. Take a walk. Some days just chill at home, watch a movie together. Just enjoying life. Just listen to the rain fall, watching the sun come out. Just hearing, listening to birds chirp. And I mean, just every little thing, which are actually major things, but we take for granted. But if it's all about the fine whining and dining, believe you me, that's not life. That is not life. So, hey, it's a hot mess. Avoid it. Avoid what? Marriages failing. Bad marriages. But you can. All of the videos here have pointed to you how you can avoid it. Please drop your comments in the comment section below. Let us know what you think. Really appreciate the support. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Appreciate you. I'll be coming back with more pieces, and you know how we like to close it out. We never close it out without reminding ourselves that we always remember we've got one life with many seasons. So let's make the best of it. God bless you, and I'll see you soon. Hit the notification bell so you can get the videos when they come out. I'll be looking out for you. Thank you so much. I'll see you. You take care now. Bye for now.